Merck team, today's topic is driving in the eco lane. Climate change is an important concern, and Merck is committed to doing whatever we can to preserve the health of our planet. As part of that commitment, we're taking steps across the company to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions, like providing reps with an eco-smart fleet of 2013 Ford Fusions. Bob Ellis is one of the first to get behind the wheel.
I received my 2013 Ford Fusion about a month ago, and I absolutely love it. It has great space in the seats, there's a nice sized trunk, and the visibility is terrific. The partnership between Merck and Ford and the Fusion with the EcoBoost engine really provides benefit in performance and in the cost of the fuel and to the health of the environment. We want to have the best vehicle that we can for our sales force, both in terms of performance and also its impact on the environment. The savings that Merck will see with the fuel cost are obvious. And when you think about 6,000 cars, it's a significant amount of money. I'm personally seeing savings weekly with the EcoBoost engine as opposed to filling up twice. I'm only doing it about once a week now.
Bob makes a great point. The new fleet will make a difference right away. As a company, Merck is committed to reducing our greenhouse gas emissions, and our new fleet will be a big part of that. Our calculations show that 1/5 of Merck's greenhouse gas reductions will come from lower fleet emissions. But we don't want to stop there. Driver behavior can reduce our emissions even more. We've learned that making small changes in the way that you spend your day in your shiny new Ford Fusion can have a big impact on air quality. For example, David Duval of the Palmetto Plus region recently noticed that his reps would plan their sales calls while they were sitting in their cars with the engine idling. So he began thinking about how he and his team could begin to make a difference. David's done some research that may help us clear the air about idling.
It's our responsibility to take the initiative to have an impact for the environment. There's a lot of downtime between calls where my reps are planning for their call, so there's a lot of idling time. What I found is that for every hour of idling uses approximately a gallon of gasoline. And so quantifying it for our region, what I determined is that if every rep within our region limited the amount of idling by 5 minutes, it saved about $400 in an average day. And when you annualize that, as small as our region is, that came out to about $90,000 over a year. You don't have to sit in your car every day and do the planning. You can do it the night before, you can do it first thing in the morning, or you can do it in between calls when you're sitting in a doctor's office before you go to the next call, limiting the amount of time you're spending in your car. Hopefully helping a couple of other folks see the impact that they're having. It might make an impact and they might think twice about spending that time in the car, therefore reducing the emissions and saving the company some money as well. I think as stewards of the environment, we owe it to the future generations to make sure that we are not leaving a long-lasting impression, a negative impression from greenhouse emissions.
It's a blustery one out there today, folks. Temperatures are dropping to way below freezing. In other news, Merck wants to remind you to shut off your engine while parked. And now, back to some hot jazz for a cool planet.
David really cares about this stuff. In his research, he uncovered these myths about idling. The first myth, the engine should be warmed up before driving. In reality, today's modern engines need no more than 30 seconds of idling on winter days. For the rest of the year, just put it in drive and go. Here's the second myth. Idling is good for your engine. The reality is excessive idling can actually damage engine components. That's because the engine doesn't run at its peak temperature, so fuel is only partially combusted. Residue builds up, fuel consumption goes up, engine performance goes down. Now for the third myth. Everyone thinks that shutting your car off and starting it back up again uses more gas and causes more wear and tear on the engine. No. In reality, component wear caused by the restarting of your engine adds a measly $10 per year compared to the cost of idling. And you're going to make that back several times over in fuel savings from reduced idling. Driving in the eco lane isn't just about cutting back on idling. There are many ways you can consume less fuel as you go about your day. One of the best ways to reduce your carbon footprint is to obey the speed limit. According to the fueleconomy.gov website, every 5 miles per hour you drive over 50 is equivalent to paying an additional 24 cents a gallon for gas. And by the way, driving the speed limit is safer too. Next, maintain proper tire pressure. Underinflated tires mean you're overinflating gas consumption and sending extra pollutants out into the air. Respect the engine light. Engine problems often have a big impact on gas consumption. And finally, stay up to date on your vehicle maintenance. It's easy to put off oil changes and tune-ups, I know, but your car is going to suffer, and so will the air you breathe. Protecting our environment is important to us, and it reflects Merck's values as a healthcare company. From the Eco Lane, this is Coach Chad Taylor saying, see you next time. Be safe and be well.